Hey y'all, this is Amber with Amber's Journey. I'm back again with another video. Now this video is going to be a little bit different. This is originally what I started doing, was budgeting. I wasn't really getting a whole lot of views on the budgeting. I got a lot more views on my planner videos, but I had a request recently for me to do an updated budget video to kind of show you what I do. I do have an accounting degree, but this is my personal finances here, so I just want to kind of go through, do a little rundown of May and what I've been doing and how I set up everything. This book here is by the Organized Money Budget Planner. You can find her at the organizedmoney.com, or you can also find her, I believe, on Etsy as well. I love this book because it's undated. I date it as I use it, and then I also use stickers. If you know me, I use stickers for everything. So I do my monthly layout to start with, and I put down all of my bills for the month, everything that I need, and then just kind of go with that. May is a little bit plainer than usual. April was color-coded for purple, and then what I do is I take everything that's on here and I lay it out on here. I do a monthly budget first, just to kind of guesstimate what I'm going to make for the month. I usually lowball this a lot just in case my checks are short. I am hourly, but I also am commission based as well. Commissions can fluctuate quite a bit. So this was my estimate for my 2 checks this month. I get paid bi-weekly, so I usually get 2 checks. Every so often I get 3. April was one of those lovely months I got 3. So this is what it comes down to. Rent is usually paid with the check beforehand from the month before, so I always put the rent on here for the next month. All of my utilities, any of my other subscriptions, car payment, insurance, internet, payments that I have coming up, loans, anything that has to come out and is going to be an auto pay or something that has to be paid. Then down here I do my variable expenses, what I think I'm going to spend on gas, groceries, any miscellaneous stuff that comes up throughout the month. And then if I have any sinking funds, which I didn't plan on those, I had more fixed expenses, so I kind of did this because I had more than I had room for. And then any extra debt payments. I never plan for extra debt payments, but I do them, and I'll show you how I keep track of that. And then how much I think my total income will be. And this will be after taxes, after my retirement comes out, after my insurance for my medical's paid, because all of that comes directly out of my check, so I never see it, so I don't add that in here. It's just easier that way for me. And then I had my first check here. This is what I estimated I would make. This is what I actually made. I took all of the bills for the month that were going to fall for the payday. Everything that I need to pay on this day till my next payday. So this, all included. I try to pay things up ahead if I can. Most time I can't, but I take all the bills that fall from between one paycheck to the other, all out here. How much I'm putting away for gas, groceries, miscellaneous. This is my loan payment. And then this is how much I had left over after all the expenses were paid. So I put this as a rollover for next week, because even though I'm paid bi-weekly, some of my money from the first check still rolls into bills after the second check, just in case. So it's kind of a buffer. Most people call it a buffer. I just call it next week's money. So I have that there, which I did end up actually putting most of this into savings just so that we have it. And then you just, what your income was, what your expenses were, any debt or rollover you had, and then it should equal whatever your beginning balance is. We call it a zero out balance, right? So this should be 0 actually, because you take this and minus these. I don't know why I wrote it like that. So that was my first paycheck. I actually made more than what I thought I was going to. Now, for my second paycheck here. Now, my first paycheck, I had bonuses and things like that. I know I'm not going to have those on this check. So I am guessing that I will be paid just my hourly pay. Okay. which I did recently get a raise. So the number that I have here is not, I know I'm going to make more than that, but I'm going to run with that number to start with. So what I'm going to do is OSC is my job, and this will be check 2. I'm going to budget 1,000, right? And then I go back here. I prefer to look at this one. So the 27th is when I get paid. So what do I have? Missouri revenue, my loan. I have it on a credit card sticker, but it's actually loan, bill due here. And then for the last couple weeks, I flip into the next month to see what needs to be paid before my next payday. So we have our gas bill, our rent due, pay for therapy for my daughter, our cell phone bill, which that gets paid in a separate account, so I don't add that in, but I still put it on my bills. Subscriptions, OnStar, Amarin, therapy, and then it stops there, right? So I'm going to write all of that out on my paycheck here. So first thing is, which I already paid my car payment, so that's already done for here, right? So Missouri, which I round up whenever I put it on here. So I don't like using change. It makes it more difficult. So I'm going to budget 51 for that. So I'll have 50 cents left over in my account, you know, just a buffer. And then Upstart. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these in, and then I'm going to speed through and I'll be back. Okay, guys? All right, y'all. So I'm going to show you some real life budgeting. So I estimate this is how much I'm going to make. I'm lowballing it a little bit, right? I know I'm going to make more than this. But there have been some weeks where, or some checks where I didn't make this much. So this is where it kind of gets tricky. So this is all of my all of my bills that are due. Okay? When I add these up, they come to $1,060, right? $60 more than what I estimated here. Okay? And you see that. So that's not groceries, that's not gas, that's not anything like that. So if you remember, back on this check, I have that $373 buffer. This is why I do it. Because my bills are not even throughout the month. It's not an even amount. You know, I don't pay the same in the first check as I do the second check, and my checks are never the same. So I always keep a buffer in my account, even if it's just a couple $100. So then I'm going to roll that over here. So roll over is here. So that's 373, right? So now my total is 373. Now I made sure I had enough to cover all of this and still have gas and what we need for the home, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 1,373 and I'm going to minus the 1,060, right? So that comes to 313, right? So that's what I got left. It's not a whole lot. And this is real life budgeting. This is one income household. This is what we do. This is how we make sure everything's ahead. Now, more than most likely, my check is going to be bigger than that. So we'll have more money left, which will turn into a rollover for the next paycheck. It's always good to have that buffer, especially if you have variable income like I do. My income fluctuates every paycheck. I can get paid anywhere from $800 to $1,900, depending on my bonuses, how well business is going, how my commissions are. And this is why I do this, because I could have a bad month, but if I had a good month the month before or the week before I had a good check, I have that leftover buffer. I try to get by on bare minimums. I make sure my bills are paid and the variables are covered. So for gas, as you all know, inflation has happened. So if you look back at any of my prior budgets, I didn't budget nearly as much as I do now because of fluctuations. So gas, I was budgeting $80, right? This was my, what month was this? This was April. So I was budgeting $80 there. And then I realized I didn't need that much. So, or no, maybe it was in March. It was where I had a lower amount. Anyways, my budget originally was lower. Gas was $100 for a month. So that was $50 a week. That's how much I was doing in March. Well, with inflation now, I know I need more than that. $50 is not going to cut it for 2 weeks. It's per paycheck. Excuse me, not per week. Per paycheck. So for gas, I always budget out $80 every 2 weeks. So that's $40 a week. $40 gets me almost a full tank right now. Almost. I usually fill up. I still have a little left. And then I have groceries and miscellaneous. Now for me, groceries is food, any household items I need, cleaning supplies, toilet paper, all of that. I put it all together. I usually buy it together. It's easier for me to just have it all in one category. It's always on the same check. I don't do separate buys. I don't go to separate stores. It's all together. So groceries is anything household. The food that we eat, cleaning supplies, all of that. I know most people don't do that. This is what I do. This is the easiest way for me to keep track. So $80. So I know I have $113 left. So I'm going to take that and minus the 80. So I got $233 left after that. I say $100 in groceries should be good. We do have a little bit of help. I do not include any kind of food stamps or any kind of extra income that comes in. I do have a second job, but that mainly goes to other things. I don't count that income in here. This is just the main income. That income is very small and doesn't normally go towards any of this anyways. So I don't count that in here. I only go off of my main checks. So that's 180, right? So I have 133 left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that 33 into miscellaneous, right? And then recently we had to go through our sinking funds. They're empty right now. I'm not adding anything to that right now until we have a little extra money. So this is going to be nope. It's going to be 213 is what we're spending there, right? So we're going to have $100 left after all of our bills. So these are the set bills that come out every month. These are the variable expenses. These are the numbers that we can change, but things that we still need on a weekly, monthly, bi-weekly basis. Now, extra debt payments, I'm not actually using it for extra debt payments. This is going to be my buffer. So I'm going to keep rolling over this $100 that was originally from that rollover. I'm going to put that here, right? So that's $100 and that zeroes it out. So now we're going to check our math, make sure everything's right. Our budget is 1373. And then expenses is both of these added together. So that is 526. Sinking funds, that's 0. And then the buffer is 100. So let's go ahead and take this and subtract these, and this should become 0. So 1373 minus 526. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong numbers, y'all. My math is going to be wrong because I added the wrong numbers. Okay, so that was what was left. This is what we're supposed to be adding. I'm losing it, y'all. Okay, so 1060 plus 213 equals 1273. Getting distracted trying to video this and still do it all right. So just make sure y'all can see that. So $12.73 is what my expenses are for that paycheck. Okay. Now, when we take this and we subtract it from this, it comes to $13.73. So we did the budget right. So there's our zero out, right? So that's good. But as you noticed, I plan ahead. I always make sure that from paycheck to paycheck, everything's covered. So some of this covers for June. Some of it covers for May. Now, I always plan my months ahead, make sure I put everything in that I need for the monthly. So I'm going to show you my monthly setup real quick for June. So this is my June. Made it a little pretty, nothing too much. And then I went ahead and set up my month. If you look, all of the same bills that were on my previous month are here. I have a few extra things. I need to start making payments on the dentist. So I have those added in as well. Then I have birthdays. I put that into my budget because I need to make sure I have money for it. I need to make sure I plan for every single dollar. That is not going to be miscellaneous. It's going to be a one-time thing. And then I have my mother's birthday down here as well. So I want to make sure that I'm budgeting to make sure that I have it. And this is just an estimate of what I'm going to spend. Once I get closer to that, my weekly will reflect what I'm actually able to do or what I actually budgeted for. And then anything extra, any appointments that are coming up that need money, any notes of any kind or goals. This is usually goals. I forgot to write it in. Goals for the month. This is financial goals, savings, paying things off, doing things like that. I haven't filled those in yet, but I went ahead and did that. These are all undated. So as you see, I had dated everything. I used a kit from Pookie Bear Cutie. I did do some surgery to it because it doesn't fit this quite right. I think this is for like a Hobonichi or maybe a, what is it called? A Hobonichi cousin, or it said a vertical, but this book's quite a bit bigger. This is an 8x11 book. I mean, it's huge, but I like it because I like to have the extra room. If you see how large I write, I mean, come on now. And then this is my monthly expense tracker. So I'm still in the process of doing that. As you can see, this started on the 13th. I did no spend for the beginning of this month because I had nothing to spend. So I just started with my major stuff that I was paying for at that time. So here's this. And now one thing I really love about this as well is because it's undated and she gives you 5 paycheck budgets per month in case you're paid weekly. This actually will last me longer than a year because there's a lot of pages in here I have not used. And because it is a disc bound system, I can pull all these out, or anything that I have already used. Once I'm finished with it, I can pull everything out that's already used and then have the pages that I haven't used left in here and just keep using them. Because, you know, like this, I haven't used any of these pages because I only get paid twice a month, maybe 3 times a month. And that's 1 page. And then my monthly is here, you know, so I really enjoy this. They are numbered pages. If you ever are into that. And then what I do for my month, I put in a dashboard for my monthly, so I can flip to it whenever I need to. And this is just a happy planner dashboard. Like there's not, I just realized I still have the plastic on this. I've had this forever. All right. So this is just a happy planner dashboard. And since it's disc bound, I can just slide that in here just like I can a happy planner. And then whenever I need to go check my budget or reevaluate or look at anything for the month, I have that. And then I know the next page is my monthly and my weeklies, you know. And these discs are pretty small. You can always trade them out, but they're very sturdy. And I really like this book. So this is my monthly plan for my budget for May. We are already halfway through it, where this is the week that I get paid this second check, but we haven't made it there yet. But if you guys have any questions, if you would like me to go over this layout again in more detail, please, you know, let me know. Another person that's great to follow is The Budget Mom or Organized Money. They both have YouTube videos on productivity, budgeting, how to determine what your amounts are, all of that. and they're phenomenal. Even with an accounting degree, they have both helped me out a lot on that. So check out The Organized Money. So she created this book, but she also has her own business. She has her own YouTube channel. I mean, she's phenomenal. And then, of course, The Budget Mom. Everybody knows The Budget Mom. She's phenomenal as well. Just leave a comment down below. I'll respond back to you as soon as I can. Any questions, if you guys want me to continue to make videos like this, let me know. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Catch you in my next video.